How are we doing, Paper Route? Pretty good? All right. You're never going to see this kind of shit in the back of a Ross. You have to come here. The Ross is not going to let us do it. I am a Flagler graduate, like I said. Yeah, and it was an interesting time being in college. The campus was 50-50. It was split between virgins who went to church and crazy punk rock heathens. And me and my friends were the only ones in between that. And so I got to see everything. I'm a journalist and I got to document that crazy schism there. I think that joke used to be funnier, but that's what I remember being Eric. Sorry, I couldn't remember it more than that. Yeah, I got an Amber Alert on my phone. You know how that always goes. It's always like, oh, there's a child missing or something. It's on your phone, and the only thing you can do is click a button on your phone that says okay. That's kind of fucked up. I don't have time to go find the child. Give me a better button that makes me feel like I'm doing something with my day. Give me a button that says something like, oh my God, it's horrible, there's a kid missing. And I'll click that button and then go back to watching HBO Max. That's right, I said HBO Max. I changed the joke for the Times. They changed it back to HBO Max. So I changed the joke to reflect that. That shows how timely I am as a comedian. Yeah. I'm also deaf. I got hearing aids that helps me hear. And it's actually pretty great. I never get tired of any songs. I don't hear songs enough to get tired of them. People hate that song, Don't Stop Believing by Journey. They're like, oh, I've heard that song 1,000 times. Well, guess what? I haven't heard it that many times. Play it again. I'm a sucker for an 80s power ballad. That's my weakness musically, is 80s power ballads. My taste is flawless otherwise. Yeah. It's not all that great being hard of hearing. It's like I'm not disabled enough to get the parking spots, the good parking spots, you know? Like, I just can't hear that well. I don't have the sticker. I didn't qualify. So I can't hear. Still got to walk a long way to get to the Home Depot. It fucking sucks. I'm not a fan. I'm not that disabled. I just can't hear as well as I assume most of you. Like, I'm not disabled. I'm disabled in the way that the college frat kid drinking Guinness on St. Paddy's Day is Irish. Yeah, don't make me the leader of your tribe. I'm not Irish. I'm not disabled. I'm just a fucking American who can't hear. That's what that is. I am also a millennial. Any millennials in the crowd? Yeah, 34. Yeah, I'm a millennial, and I think millennials were so obsessed with like getting old. Like we're always like, oh my God, can you believe the 90s was 30 years ago? Can you believe all of our favorite Nickelodeon cartoons are 30 years old? And I'm always like, yeah, that's how time works. Usually it goes forward. If you experience time in a different way, I want to talk to you after the show. I want to hear how you experience time. That's fascinating. No, it's like you think they were doing that in the 1800s? They're like, oh, the 1770s. That was 30 years ago. Can you believe all of our favorite bigoted religious books are 30 years old? No, they were dying of some disease at 35. They didn't have the time. They didn't have the time to navel gaze like we fucking do. We should get ready. There might be another pandemic coming. We need to be ready for it. That's not a funny part of that joke. I apologize for bringing that down. But I always have to insert something like that in my jokes. I went to the doctor recently. I didn't get past the front desk. Because the lady was like, all right, it's $150 just to talk to the doctor. $150 just to consult and talk with that doctor. Anything else, it's way more. And I'm like, all right, if I do that, if I pay $150 for that, I better not hear any fucking recycled Facebook memes in that conversation. I want to hear profound wisdom. I want to hear truth, nuggets of golden truth, the likes of which I've never heard. I want to be amazed by that conversation. I don't want to hear any platitudes. I don't want to hear shit like, oh, it gets worse before it gets better. Fuck you, I want my $175 back. I said 150 at the beginning, 175. They keep raising it. Inflation. That's what that is. I fucked up the joke and I made it political. That's what Flagler College taught me to do. But yeah. I used to be so worried about getting good grades in school. Like I was always so worried about that. Like I agonized. Like what if I get a bad grade? And then I got in the real world. It never fucking mattered. I never walked into a job interview where they were like, oh, you're perfect for this job. You got the right qualifications. You have the right references. Wait, what's this? You failed algebra? Get the fuck out of this Walgreens. That never happened to me. I was never on a date with a woman where my 1100 SAT score helped me. It's not even a good SAT score. You have to be into mediocre SAT scores to find that hot. I've been doing that joke for like 7 or 8 years, and no woman would even talk to me after a set where I did that joke. That joke doesn't help me. That's how committed I fucking am to comedy. And I keep doing that, even though it hurts my chances, probably. We all have like these ideas of ourselves. We all think about ourselves in certain ways. Like people assume that I like school. People assume that I like school, I think, because I'm not that tall and I have glasses. And they look at me like that guy's a fucking nerd. I hated school. I wanted to get out of there the whole time, all that time. I enjoyed my time at Flagler. It wasn't because I loved the classes. It was just because, it's a beach town and I became of drinking age here. That was why. That's why I liked St. Augustine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And no, the thing is, like, we all have these ideas, like I said. We all have perceptions. We all have things about ourselves we're insecure about. Like, there are some guys who are not that tall, and they're very unhappy about that. Like, they're unhappy. They want to change it. And have you guys heard of this surgery they do to change their height? Yeah, a couple of you maybe. Yeah, it's a crazy surgery. What they do, it's like the doctors go in and break your legs, and they insert metal rods in your legs that extend and your legs heal. And so then you go from like my height, like 5'7", you shoot up to like 6'3" or 6'5", whatever it is. And apparently, that's supposed to be hot. I'm not attracted to men, but anybody who's attracted to men, do you find that hot? I'm asking for research. I need to know this shit. I need to know for sure before I decide I'm not doing it. I've seen a few shaking heads. That's good. That's fine. Like what's the game plan with that, right? Like you get that surgery, you lumber out of there a freakish new height, insane height, disproportionate body. You go to the first bar you can find, and then like a supermodel sits across the bar. She's like, oh my God, you're 6'5". Holy shit, let's get married. And then you're married for 20 years, and then you don't have much in common anymore. Like you're balding and fat, and she does her book club, and you do fantasy football, and you don't really have anything to say, but hey, you're 6'5", you fucking won. That's the fucking lottery, right? No, I'm saying that facetiously, that I know they're not trying to get married for 20 years. They're trying to fuck. I understand that. We do what we have to do to try to fuck. Some of us become genetic abominations against God by spending large amounts of money on a crazy surgery. That's what we have to do to fuck, so be it. That's what it is. Yeah. And but that's my other question. Like, who's fucking that guy? Who's fucking the 6'5" Frankenstein's monster waddling out of that clinic on large legs? And like they popping pain pills like it's candy because it's fucking painful. And also, good luck if you have to run on that fucking date. He can't run with you. He cannot. You're gonna be on your own if you run from something. Like I don't think. Am I out of touch with the dating pool? I haven't dated in a couple of years. Maybe I'm out of touch with that. But I don't think anybody's fucking that guy. Is anybody? If I do see anybody fucking that guy, I'll take that part out of the joke. Like if I walk in the bedroom. But I don't think it's going to happen. No. Also, if this joke starts to bomb, I'm going to get the surgery. It's not just for fucking and dating. It's also for the workplace. Apparently, tall men do better in the workplace. And I'm trying to see where comedy goes. I'm trying to see what happens with comedy. And if I get the surgery, if I'm 6'5", I don't have to write jokes anymore. I can just fucking wander into a club. I can read jokes off of the Barnes & Noble joke book. And then everybody will love me. I'll be headlining fucking cruise ships. All the comedians will hate me. I'll have won. I'll be on the highest ivory tower. No one will be able to fucking touch me. It'll be fucking amazing. You guys still having fun? You having a good time? I got a couple more minutes. I'll do some other things. I did drive across the country in a PT Cruiser. Yeah, I heard some audible, like I don't even have to explain that joke. People understand it. I don't have to explain anything with that. In fact, the PT Cruiser is not the car for like a long country road trip. PT Cruiser is the car for the elderly. PT Cruiser is the car for you to drive around the corner at your leisure to get either toe cream or lottery tickets. That's it. That's what it's for. I fucked up. But then again, I never got pulled over in that car. The cops took one look at that little tiny thing, and they were like, this guy never thought of the word crime in his life. And they let me go. They were disgruntled because they couldn't pull me over unjustly. Also, I was white, so that helped too. But yeah, that's not part of the joke. I just improvised that now. That's what Black College did. They taught me to improvise parts of the joke that the crowd doesn't laugh at that much. Fantastic. I'm going to do one quick thing before I get out of here. Have you all, I think we know each other well enough now. I can talk about God, right? After all that, I'm just saying, like, some people are religious. Some people are like, oh, God has a plan for all of us. And I don't know about that. Just because, like, there's 7 billion people on the planet. That's a lot of plans. I can barely remember when my dentist appointments are. If someone came up to me and was like, Larry, remember 7 billion dentist appointments? I'd probably fuck 1 or 2 of them up. I'm not perfect. Also, God's plan for me involves a lot of open mic comedy and not a lot of long relationships, so shitty plan, God. That's good enough. Good chuckles are good enough. Here's your host, Tucker and Nora. I'm Larry Griffin. You all have a good night. Woo! It's not long.